Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Unleashed. It's Pup Twigs here from Orlando, Florida, and joining me today as my guest is Puck the Pup from Los Banos, California. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing really awesome. It's a tail end of my vacation and the night before EDC here in Orlando, so I'm all excited.
Fun.
So we'll just get started right off. I always like to ask about the origin of the pup's name, so Puck the Pup, and also curious about if there's a specific symbolism between the colors you have picked for your hood.
Yeah, no, I started being a pup around 2019, and it was right before COVID. And my ex at the time, he ended up getting me a muzzle and wanted to call me Bane. And or sorry, not Bane, Kane. Oh my God. And I didn't feel like it was like really me, and I didn't really get to feel the experience of how like it starts out to be a pup.
Hmm.
So I decided once I broke up with him, um, I ended up diving headfirst into the pub community. And I actually went on like Discord, and I went nameless though. I had no name. I just
Hmm.
had a blue muzzle because I liked blue. And I just didn't know like how to feel out for it or like who I was. And
Right.
then one day, randomly, everybody thinks it's from like a midsummer walk or whatever that thing is called. I've never read it before, but
Uh-huh.
one day I was watching anime. I know, nerdy, but I was watching anime, and there's a little character named Puck who is very like like or not misunderstood, but more underestimated. And I
Hmm.
feel like that kind of resonates in me. People think that I'm just very nice and like can be walked all over, or like, oh, he wouldn't do anything, but they never really like see that other side of me, or they see that I'm very submissive, but they never see that I can actually be very dominant as well.
Right.
So I was like, I feel like that resonates in me. Like I feel like I'm Puck. So Puck just became a character and became a part of me. As for the colors, blue is my favorite color, but I had a dog who passed away at the age of 7 from cancer, and
Mhm.
he was a blue nose pit bull. So I first made my first custom hood, like just like him. Like I made
Mhm.
it blue, like cartoon him, but like I had a gray nose that looked just like his, and
Oh.
so Puck's look is based off of my dog who passed away. Um, but I'm not really a pit bull though. I'm more of like a mutt, if anything.
Well, and I hear you, but I love hearing the history of how pups have got their names, and I've heard a lot of them, and it's pretty interesting because pups get so creative with their names, and it's just awesome to hear.
hmm Well, I hear like a lot of like they hear like Ace or Fido or like the typical dog name. I'm like, that's cute, but like, does it mean like who you are? Like, I know it sounds cute and adorable, but like, is it you? Like, so
Yeah.
that's why I always like try to ask, like, are you sure you want that to be your name? So, like, my partner, his name is Runner. At first I was like, okay, like why do you want to be runner? And the reason why he wants to be runner is because he always ran. Like he always loved to run. So
Yeah.
it was just very like plain and simple, but it had meaning to it for him. So like whenever he would have like a moment of like stress, he would go run. Or he did cross country when he was younger.
Hmm.
So running just played a big part in his life. So he chose runner. And I think it fits him.
Yeah, that's really interesting because Twigs, I don't share my last name, but my last name in a synopsis would be Twigs.
Oh,
And that's how I got my name. Now, my partner, his name is Smokey,
oh.
but his perfectly fits him because he is a pothead and it just fits him to a T and
Oh,
everything. So it's funny how these names kind of evolve.
yeah.
So you said
Funny.
you've been a pup
Sorry.
2019, right? As we dug into the pandemic and everything, but during that time, what has been the easiest and what has been the most difficult part about being a pup for you?
Oh gosh. Well, I feel like everybody has their own opinions. And to like being a pup, like what's easiest for me, I don't think people would agree with this, but I felt like diving head first was the easiest.
Hmm.
Because I mean, everybody is nervous. Everybody is like, okay, like, should I bark? Should I growl? And to me, I didn't bark or growl yet. I didn't find my bark until maybe a year after, but I was so intrigued and so interested. And the first thing that even actually got me interested in pup play was because I knew about it, obviously. Like you see it and you're like, okay, that's kink, like somebody's into that. I never really knew much about it though. And it was at San Diego Pride 2019. There was this big muscle red-headed like ginger puppy, 6 foot, like burly big puppy, and his handler was this like skinny little like twink, and it was like so funny to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can I pet your puppy, like, being respectful, because I was actually hanging out with the pup at the time and he was like trying to tell me like what to do. I
Hmm.
was like, can I pet your puppy? And he's like, yeah, sure, but like he bites. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. And so I pet him and he growled at me, and I was like, oh, why do I like that? What? Like it was weird. And for the longest time I actually like portrayed Puck to look like him too, because I felt like it was kind of like a little werewolf bite. Like he bit me and now I'm a pup. Like it's like he growled at me, now I'm a pup. So he was wearing this and if you're watching, oh my God, I've been looking for you. Like I wanted to say thank you so much. But he's wearing this like, oh my God, what are those things like those dogs that like you can bring into buildings? I can't think of the name for
Oh,
some
service animal.
service animal. Why couldn't I think of that? Oh my God. It had a service dog harness on his like
Oh,
chest, and it was the cutest thing. So when at my first Folsom, I wore a service dog thing in like tribute to him, like to say thank you. And if I run into him, I want to be like, oh, thank you so much for like, letting me pet you that day, because now this happened.
what an amazing story. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, but the most difficult thing, um, it's being accepted and being misunderstood. I noticed when I became a pup and became more open, my dating life had faltered. Whenever I would show this side of me, or whenever I would tell them I'm a pup, even with hookups, like it was just really difficult to be accepted or to be viewed as a person.
Hmm.
Even if you're not into pup play, you're still seeing, me, you're not seeing pup. And it was just really hard. Like I moved to Bakersfield for this guy, and he learned that I was a pup, told me he was okay with it. And then once I moved to Bakersfield, I was getting my life together as well. It wasn't just for him, but
Sure.
once I got my life together and I moved down there, he ghosted me.
Oh,
I never got to see him ever again. So it was just like, it's hard to be accepted. And at one point in my like pup life, I actually grew embarrassed. I was ashamed to be a pup. I was nervous about it. Um, Actually, the funny thing is, my parents are the ones who were kind of they were kind of supportive about it. They weren't
mhm.
understanding of it. They're like, we're not sure what that is, but if you're happy. But my mom saw my hood once. I left it out to like dry after washing it. She goes, "What's that?" Oh, I really like luchadors, like the Mexican
Oh,
wrestlers.
yeah.
And she goes, "That's not it." And it turns out one of her friends online are a pup, and we're like, "Oh, your son's a pup." I was like, "God damn it!"
Oh no.
But it's okay. I mean, my family knows about it. We joke about it. They're like, as long as you're happy and as long as you're not doing like hardcore drugs, you're fine.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. So, but
Wow.
just yeah, if it wasn't for the acceptance of my friends and my family, I think Puck would have been no more.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's just hard to be accepted. And you get also a lot of people who are like, "Oh, I'm not into bestiality," or "I'm not into furries." And I'm like, I'm not into bestiality either. I
You're
don't
right.
identify as a furry. There's a lot of pups who do, but I don't identify as a furry. But yeah, just it's hard to be yourself.
Yeah,
Um,
it's kind of funny because we won't run a close relationship with the furries and with the leather
yeah,
community, and
yeah.
everything. So,
And oh my God, furries are fun to party with. Just a
oh, I
side
bet.
note. It's like I don't consider myself a furry, but I love hanging out with furries.
Yeah. Well, if there's one thing that you could change about our community, what would it be?
uh, Hate to admit it, but it's like the toxicity of the pup community. There's a lot of toxicity. But I feel like with any type of like uh LGBTQ plus community, there's some sort of toxicity, but for some reason, I feel like the pup community is very divided and judgmental. There's a lot of cliques. And I'm not innocent, you know, I've been considered to be part of a clique as well, or, you know,
Mhm.
I've been judgmental to some pups as well. And I like to reflect and step back and be like, you know, like pup, like calm down, be nice. But yeah, just there's a lot of judgmental issues and a lot of cliques. Whether it's pups in SoCal or in Central Valley, or pups online, like TikTok or Discord,
Yeah.
there's always a feud or a pack or pup that is disliked. They're like blacklisted, like don't ever talk to them.
Hmm.
Um, we get enough dirty looks from some of the people in other communities, and I just figured that if we were more united, like it would be a lot better. Also, I get so excited when I see female handlers and female pups. Like, I feel like there should be more. You know what I mean?
Me
Like, you don't
too.
see enough of them.
Yeah, we don't. There's not enough females represented in the pup community. There are some, but
Hmm.
there needs to be more.
Oh my gosh.
And
Like, quick story though. Like, I was
yeah.
at Folsom, my first like official Folsom, and there was this beautiful puppy, 6 foot, uh, like toned and just black hood, had a leash on, and at the end of that leash was this tiny little handler, and I thought she was amazing. I was like, you better work.
Hmm.
So like I think it's awesome. Like there should be more female representation in the pup community.
Oh, I totally agree, and I did get to do one interview. It was a local one. She's part of the Orlando Critter Club here.
Oh wow.
It's a pack here. We've got three packs:
Mm,
MCO Paws, Critter Club, and the Hound Pound.
mm,
And she is a member of the Critter Club, and she wanted to come over and do one in person, which we did. And she said, "Can I? Is it okay if I bring someone with me?" I said, "Of course you can. I have no problem with that."
mm.
After we did the interview, I found out it was actually her boyfriend that sat there while she was a pup on my podcast talking about being a pup, which I thought was just blew my mind. I thought it was awesome
Oh wow.
that he
That's
sits
so
here and
cool.
supports her for this.
I love seeing supportive like partners like that. That's so amazing.
Yeah, it was totally great for me, and I think out of all of my podcasts that I've got posted so far, and I believe there's 70 that are now 71 will go up tomorrow. Uh, she's had the most views so far out of any of them.
Wow.
So that tells me we need more females in this group.
Yes, definitely. It's so cool.
So, what advice would you give someone if they're just now wanting to get into the pup community?
Oh, that's so easy. Uh, don't be afraid to do it. Just jump in. It's not as scary as you think. Remember, it's another part of you. It doesn't define exactly who you are, but it is an important part of you. Um, I mean, it's not all about sex anymore. You know,
Hmm.
these days, it's more about emotion and being your true primal self. Uh, some people probably just focus on just the sexual part of it. Um, but I just think that if you just be yourself and just have fun with it, you'll be great. Uh, and you don't need a hood. I mean, hoods are nice, muzzles are nice, gear is fantastic, but you don't need a hood to be a puppy. And I've told people that, and you know, sometimes it's hard to get a hood. They're expensive, you
Oh,
know.
they're very expensive.
Yeah. Uh, but if you do want a hood, if you do want something like that, go to Amazon. They have them for like 20 bucks. But just remember, you get what you paid for. They're really tight. They're really small. I tried to get one just to like see how it felt, and it was like, oh God, this is way too tight on my head.
Yeah, and that was my first hood was Amazon. Once I got into it, I thought, okay, let me go the cheap route first to see if this is what I want.
Mm,
And that I'm the same way. I will tell them to go there first,
hmm.
see if that's what you want, and then work up to what you a hood that you really are happy and proud to wear.
Yeah. But I mean, if you want to put the money into it, I would suggest maybe Mr. S Leather.
Yes.
Mr. Bear has some good items, like good muzzles. But I've always liked Mr. S Leather because like they're custom and they're handmade, and I think they're handmade and they're really cool. Like I feel like they're more comfortable. So that's why I get mine from there. And they have payment plans now. So like you don't have to like buy it all at once. Like you
Right,
can
right,
do
yes,
payments and then they're making your hood and once it's ready, you're already paid off.
that's right.
Not that I'm being sponsored or anything like that, but
Hey, that's okay. They want to throw some stuff our way. Come on, bring it. So what brings you the most joy out of putt play?
honestly, I can be myself. I find community in puck play, and it's just exciting. Like I've met so many people. My best friend that I met online, his name's Bandit, and he's in South Africa, and he's been one of my closest friends, and I love him to death. Hi, Bandit, if you're watching. And just finding community and being myself. My own partner became a pup because of me, honestly. He wanted to try it and he liked it, and he's still trying to find his bark, so he's a very shy puppy.
Sure,
But the reason why he wanted to do it was because, not only to be closer to me, but because he sees that it brings out another side of me. And it's starting to bring out another side of him. And I think that's just amazing. Like, I love it.
it is. That is really good. Well, you might have to put me in touch with Bandit. I've never interviewed someone from South Africa yet, and
Oh, for
I'd
sure.
love to. So,
The time zone might be actually better in your favor because I think we are 8 hours in between. I'm not quite sure, but we
and,
always miss each other. But yeah,
and
he's an
and it's
amazing
okay for
puppy.
me because I will do this any time of the day or night to
Hmm.
work around someone else's schedule. I've done Australia and stuff like that. So, yeah,
Nice. Yeah, no, he is such a good boy. I love him so much. He's been my friend through all of my pup life, so
sweet,
he's
sweet.
great.
So, do you have a play toy that you like?
uh, Pup wise or sexual wise? I'm just kidding.
Well, that's up to
uh,
what you want to share.
does my partner's bone count? I'm just kidding.
Well, that could
No,
be, yeah, sure.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
Uh, favorite toy? I actually don't find toys stimulating for me. Like I'm just that dog that doesn't like to play with toys. I mean, I'll play with toys at like a Smosh or like just with other pups.
Right.
Um, go on a pad, play tug of war, or but I'm more of a wrestler. Like I like physical contact
Okay.
and like I wrestle with pups. With consent, of course.
Oh, of
But
course. Yeah.
but no, I toys don't really stimulate me. I've tried it. I've tried the ball. Another friend from South Africa tried to like tell me how to play with toys, and his name's Osiris. And I didn't find it very stimulating to me. Like I squeaked it, and if anything, it got him excited, my dog right here.
Yeah, I see. We'll be talking
But
about the dog in a few.
yeah, but no, I just can't get into it. I don't know why. Like I can get into my total headspace. I could be full puck, but toys just don't really
Just doesn't do it.
are my liking. Yeah,
And that's
it's
okay.
weird.
I've never really gotten into any of the play toys. I mean, I like to hear them squeak, but it doesn't really do anything for me than hearing it squeak.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what has, being able to get into the headspace as a pup done for your mental health?
I feel like it's done a lot of good for my mental health. I deal with depression, anxiety, and I have ADHD.
Hmm.
And what a mix, by the way. Oh my God. But it's my hood has become more of a security blanket for me. I feel like I'm more braver with my hood on. I feel like I'm more focused. Not that like, a hood can replace therapy. Obviously, if you
Right,
want therapy or if you need therapy, do therapy. Don't replace a hood is not therapy. Let's just say that.
right.
But I even suggested my friend Yoshi to wear a hood to bed, and he slept better with it because of it, because he would have like night terrors.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know, I just felt like it did a lot of good for my hood. Oh my God, for my head. It did a lot of good for my head.
There
So
you
I
go.
definitely, but I noticed a lot of pups have something, they're going through, that
Yes.
mentally. I'm no therapist, obviously, but I feel like a lot of pups have some sort of thing that they have like trauma or they have depression like me. But they find, some solace inside like the pup community and being the pup that they are. It's just crazy how far a hood can take you
Yeah,
away from that,
totally agree.
negative space.
And my partner, I was always my entire life the social butterfly.
Hmm.
And he is extremely shy, especially around someone new that he doesn't know. And ever since he got the pup hood, he just feels more confident about talking to people that he doesn't even know.
Hmm.
When we go out to places where we're all hanging out and there's new pups around, we'll go talk to them, and it just done wonders for him.
Wow. Yeah, no, it feels like I said, like a security blanket. Like
Yes.
going out in public, I feel more confident wearing it than
Hmm.
having it on my hip. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
could be in half my gear and people can be like, "Oh, why does he have a tail?" And I'd be embarrassed. But if I have my hood on, I'm like, "Wag it for you." Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Just,
you want to see my tail? I got you. Want to see my tail?
oh, so what is one thing you wish you had known before you became a pup?
I wish I knew more of the history
Hmm.
of pup play, like where it came from. I feel like once you become a pup, you don't really do more of the background of it, like check. You kind of just play by ear. I think some pups probably would get offended that there wasn't any attempt of learning about the history, and more jumping on the bandwagon, like, oh, he's wearing a hood. I'm gonna try that. Okay, but like,
Hmm.
do you know what pup play is and do you know the history of it?
Right.
Like, puppy play is a modern sociosexual practice with historical roots in the gay BDSM and leather subculture of post-war USA. So it's like you hear something like that, you're like, wait, what? It
Yeah.
came from that? Like it's so weird. So
Well,
yeah, I just wish I knew more about it.
and I'm not going to get too deep into a previous podcast that I've done, but if you go through and look at any of the ones that I've done, you run across one by a pup named Bruiser.
Hmm.
He actually lives in San Francisco, and based on all the research that he and some other people had done, he is pup number two in the community. He's been
Wow.
a pup for 36 years, and he taught pup as part of the leather community all over the United States
Nice.
and stuff. So
Wow.
it was fascinating to get to talk to him. And not too long after talking to him, he found Pup Ranger also in San Francisco that is pup number one.
Oh,
And I got to do an interview with both of them.
nice. I
And
would love to
so
meet
the
them.
history that those two have is just unbelievable.
Huh. Yeah, no, it's crazy. And I don't know, I find it more interesting. And I know there's books out there, you
Yeah.
know, but let's just say I'm illiterate. I'm a dumb puppy. I
Okay.
don't read. I try to read. If anything, I read manga, but other than that, no, I don't read that
Make
much.
make a movie of it for me and I'll watch it.
Yeah, make a YouTube video. I'm pretty sure Pup Amp or somebody has made a video about it,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I'll be reading a book and I'm on the same paragraph for like 2 hours because of
Yeah.
my ADHD. I can't
Yeah.
focus.
I don't like to read at all.
Ugh,
So
I
what
used
kind of
to.
hobbies do you have there in California?
Um, Honestly, where I'm at, there's not much to do. I love my plants. I have a lot of plants. Like I have an avocado tree, a mandarin sapling, an onion flower. I have four devil ivy. I have two monsteras.
Wow.
I really like plant care, so I've
Okay.
been taking care of that. Like I think you can see one of my plants right here,
I
just
see part
hanging
of it.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aside from that, I just play video games, and oh my God, I love one of my notes I put I read, but I'm lying. Oh my God.
Oh no, it's
Uh,
none of this is true.
I I mean I used to like to read, but I mean, I don't know. I'm more of an audio book kind of guy
Yeah.
now.
Let someone
Um
read to you.
yeah. But back then I used to be a musician. I played piano, trumpet, I conducted music for field show and concerts. But I fear that like I've forgotten like the basics of it
Hmm.
and I'm kind of sad about it. I would get back into it, but like I said, there's not much to do here. There's not like some adult concert you can join or
Sure.
so. Yeah.
Well, on a side note, if you're on Facebook, you should go look up Plant Daddies.
Oh,
It's an amazing Facebook page about plants and stuff, and I'm on it and just absolutely love it.
ah, nice. I'll have to look into it.
So I know there was a question about do you have any pets of your own, and it's quite obvious over your shoulder that you do. Um, and
Yeah,
what a good dog, been sleeping the whole time, pretty much.
he's a very lazy puppy. That's Coda. He's a pit bull mix. We think that he is a lab and pit bull mix.
Uh-huh.
But we just know he's a purebred good boy. Like he's
Good.
such, yeah, just like his dad. He's such a sweetie. And then I also adopted a cat with my partner. His name is Louis Vuitton.
Louis, is it a black one?
No, he's a tabby.
Because I something went over your other shoulder a minute ago, jumped up on the couch, and then left again. So I'm
Uh,
assuming that
that
was the
was
cat.
no, no, that was my mom's dog. I'm watching her
Oh,
for.
okay. All right.
Yeah, it's a little Yorkie. Her name's Coco.
So you have
Uh,
a house full.
yeah. But no, my cat is with my boyfriend. He lives out of town. So,
Oh,
but we
okay.
both adopted a cat together. I surprised him with it. It's a little tabby. He's 1 year old. He's really sweet. He's very soft spoken, but has like a really loud purr.
Yeah.
But then what I said earlier though too, I had a dog named Yakimo,
Hmm.
which is sweet potato in Japanese. And he was this beautiful blue nose pit bull, and he only died at 7 years old, unfortunately. He had lymphosarcoma,
Oh,
and yeah, it was hard to see him deteriorate. But
oh, yes.
I feel like he brought Coda to me because as soon after, about maybe 6 months later, my parents just like threw birthday money at me. Sorry, threw birthday money at me and was just like, "Here, we're tired of you being sad. Go get another dog." And on my birthday, I adopted him, and
Oh,
yeah, he's been in my life ever since. He's now gonna be 3.
yeah. Our pets are our children, so
Yeah, it's crazy.
we get so attached to them. So, what kind of events do you have going on in your area, or do you have any that happen?
Um, so like I said before, I used to live in Bakersfield, and there was an event at the end of the month called Howl,
Hmm.
and it was open to pups and furries, and it was really fun. I made a lot of friends there, um, and it was ran by a furry named Otter. Unfortunately, that event is no longer happening. Otter had to move away, and he didn't want to just leave his baby with somebody else, so he decided just to cancel the event. But it was really fun. It was at this bar called the Mint,
Hmm.
and they would be in the back. They had a DJ playing. All the furries would meet out there, and then we would go early in the day, and then later on during the day, there would trickle out some like straight people or like people who are not furry or pup, and
Hmm.
it'd be kind of a spectacle in a way. So I feel like a lot of pups and furries stopped going because of that.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I had a lot of fun. I played security dog most of the time though because I felt like people would mess with them. And then I think they're still doing it, but in Fresno, here in Central Valley, there is a thing called Coffee with the Pup. I
Hmm.
think that's what it's called. And usually they'll go to a place called Teasers, off of the Tower District, and they'll have coffee and tea, hang out, talk about the community, and then usually a group of pups will go to the club across the street, like Splash.
Okay.
So they do some of that. I don't really hang out there anymore because of a lot of like toxic stuff going
Mhm.
on. So me and my pup kind of like separated ourselves. I mean, we still talk to them. I'm still friends with a lot of pups that are there, but I just don't go over there anymore. But if you're ever in SoCal, there is a place in Ventura called Patty's Pub, I think it's called, and it they do an event called Patty's Pub Slosh. And my pup brother Delta invited me to go there, and it was so fun to attend. I've never been to like a just a main pup
Mhm.
event, and it's really fun. They have like a little mat where you can like play with toys and wrestle with other pups. There's drinks, there's go-go dancers, there's raffles.
Oh, nice.
um Yeah, it was a lot of fun and I felt very welcomed. I actually met a lot of people that knew me from online and I was like, hi, like it's nice to meet you. I mean, I don't know you, but I mean, I feel like shy now. Hi. Put on the spot.
Oh, well, yeah, I love hearing about all the different things that go on everywhere. But
Hmm.
if you could ask my next pup guest on here a question that you would want to know, what do you think you would want to ask them?
Um, if you can meet any pup or your pup idol, who would it be?
Okay, good question.
Is that good enough? Like, is
Oh,
that good
yeah,
enough?
that's
I don't
great. I think it's awesome. Now,
know.
this one you might have already answered, but we're going to go to it again. Maybe we can get more in depth. But this question came from Pup Oren, actually here in Orlando, Florida. And
Hmm,
he wanted to know, what is the pup community like in your hometown?
dead. Um, I can't speak for Fresno. I can't speak for SoCal. I can't speak for Bakersfield. Where I'm living right now, I think I am the only known pup
Okay,
here in my town. My partner lives about 30 minutes away from me in another town, and I think there's two other pups where he lives, but we don't really talk. We don't know each other.
yeah.
And then I know there is a pup who lives another 30 minutes the opposite direction. His name's Gavin, and I think he's the only pup in his area as well. So there's not many pups. I live off of the I-5 as well here in California. So
Mhm.
if I go on like the pup app from Pup Space, I usually get a couple people who are visiting, like who would want to hang out or talk. But usually I don't talk to anybody. Like there's nobody here.
Nobody. Okay.
So to find community, I went online and Discord was the place to find other pups. Um, so yeah, it's dead here. I'm the only
Okay.
pup here.
Oh, you're the lone pup there in town.
Yeah, lone wolf here.
So if other pups wanted to reach out to you and say, hey, they saw you on Unleashed, or they just want to say hi, how could they reach out to you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram. It's Puck the Pup 01, all one word. I'm also on TikTok. It's Puccino, like cappuccino, but with Puck and then UCCINO. I'm on TikTok on there, and then for 18 and only, I'm Puck the Pup on Twitter, or I guess it's called X now. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
just one word, Puck the Pup. P's are capitalized.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Well, any last words that you have before we get off of here?
Hmm. Be kind to your other pups because you don't know if what you say could ruin their day or make their day better.
Yeah. All right.
I
Well,
don't know. That was very cheesy.
no, it was great. It was great. I like to let others have the last good word in before we get off the call. Huck, it's been awesome getting to visit with you today, and don't be a stranger. I'm sure we'll be talking again soon.
Oh, definitely. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.